Howdy, folks. It's Doodly Squatch coming at you with another doodle. Some dumb stories. Who knows? Here we go. So today's doodle was a quickie. I had another thing recorded, but it was a little similar to my big stretchy clown doodle, so I didn't want to end up doing a back-to-back samesies kind of thing. So I just started a sketching and doing teeth, and I thought these teeth look like hair. And that's essentially how this one started. But it's got me thinking about teeth, obviously, and just overall physical health. That sort of stuff becomes annoyingly important the older you get. I remember when I was a teenager, I had this irrational thought that I was just, I wasn't going to make it to adulthood. Just, I'm going to die, and I don't know if it was just, media. I was a bit of a hypochondriac, still am. And then just being a worrywart in general. But I remember it seemed like everyone was getting cancer, and that was my big fear. And of course, this is right around the time I'm 12, 13. Ooh, sirens in the background. Something's going on. Who knows? A lot of sirens lately. But being right around that age where, my body's about to go crazy and all sorts of new things are going to happen. And here I am, impressionable and young and worried about dying. And so I remember I had, it felt like, a lump on my chest. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'm one of the rare boys, one of them boys that gets breast cancer. And just, even then, thinking 100% that's what it was, not going to a doctor, not telling my parents, and just being just glum about it. Like, well, this is it. And man, if I'd have just talked to my parents or talked to my doctor, and they could have just been like, you doughhead, it's called gynomastia, and it happens to boys when they're going through puberty. and your body, for a brief moment, tries to give you boobs. And then it goes away. And, it's, but man, yeah, I remember spending, a better part of a year convinced I was going to die. And just, yeah. Typical male thing, just no doctors, nothing's gonna work. So I've been repenting of that my adult life, keeping up regular doctor's appointments and getting my blood work done and all that stuff. But in just recently, if you've been watching my videos, you know that my teeth have been committing suicide, basically, where I've had, I had 2 root canals this year, and had one, previous year that had gone bad this year. So I guess that counts as one still. I don't know. I had one when I was 21, and those were kind of the big traumatic, tooth events for me. And it's interesting and annoying, I would say. I think we all like to think, our bodies are going to last forever, and it's just not the case. As you get older, you see things slowing down, shutting down, that sort of stuff. I always joke that the little spools of thread that make my hair ran out before they ran out of color. So my hair started thinning before it started going gray. But I don't know. I'm able to look at that kind of in a less cynical way. But I my wife, her hair's been going gray since she was 18, and it looks super cool and distinguished on her, and I was always jealous, and I'm kind of bummed that I won't get to like enjoy gray hair before going more bald. I don't know. But yeah, just thinking about physical health and trying to stay healthy. You get older and you start looking at food labels more and worrying about calories and all that crap, and having to basically keep up the upkeep on your body. And when you're a teen, when you're young, you can fall off a trampoline and land pretty hard, and you feel you're a little sore, but you're fine the next day. Me, I take a decent fall on some sidewalk, and I remember crashing on my daughter's Razor scooter, and my shoulder hurt. And I remember laughing at adults who like hopped on their kid's skateboard or whatever and broke their arm, that sort of thing, and here I am. But it's in keeping with a lot of my art, and the theme is you're mortal, you're gonna die, and it's okay. It's okay. And but I really enjoyed drawing this, just kind of trying to stick with a theme, and get that sort of stretchy, gummy look to it with the teeth, and stick with a good lighting source. I ran into one of my viewers at work the other day, and he's like, "You doing season 2?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." Not even more than halfway through this year, and still feeling pretty good about it. And plenty of doodles, plenty of stuff to talk about. I think I'm gonna try and incorporate more guests. The conversation seems to go a lot more smoothly if I've got someone to bounce off of, and someone to fill in that dead air when I'm just a gabbing, or I guess for lack of gabbing. But yeah, I'm my boy's doing real good, doing edits, finding fun things to put up on the screen, or amusing commentary. I couldn't even hear the train last video, so it was kind of funny to see those subtitles and be like, oh, there was a train. So just gotta expand our music library so we don't bore you guys with the same old background music over and over. It's definitely me being a little neuro-spicy. It's definitely become part of my routine, where end of the week comes up, it goes, oh, I gotta record over some sped up video, and gotta hand it off to the boy and get it going. And it's been a fun little thing, and he's still in school, learn about like video production and stuff like that. So we'll see how this goes, see if these pick up, if they get more technical and interesting. I've been trying to zhuzh up my my thumbnails more, trying to figure it out. I'm not trying to hit it big, but it's nice to have new eyes on what I do. And I love comments, I love questions, I love answering random questions, that sort of stuff. Need to start, doing polls on, I guess that's a thing. When on your channel you can put up polls and people can vote on stuff, or you can ask open-ended questions and that sort of thing. That and trying to figure out how to work this YouTube live kind of thing. I think it'd be really fun to do one of those, and either do like some kind of collaborative thing with the audience, or or, fiddle with my drawing as I go, based on comments, that sort of thing. I've done that with like little kids watching me draw, and they'll be like, you should give them a big hat or something, and that's always fun to do. And it's, so much easier to do digitally because I can just make a new layer and fiddle with my drawing all I want. And, if I don't like it, I can just move on back. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with my toothy guy. Funny enough, I have a dentist appointment coming up, and it's the first time in a long while I think I've been nervous about going to the dentist. Normally it's, the dentist isn't a big deal, but having had so many things this year, I just really don't want any kind of new surprises in my mouth. That's what she said. Yeah, just, my insurance is great, but it's not immortal. It's not. Yeah. No, and then, with other things, my daughter had knee surgery recently and is recovering from that and doing pretty good. And I'm thankful for that. That's good. Major surgeries are always a little nerve-wracking. But it hit my wife a lot more than me. She was falling apart thinking about it, and I'm glad things went well. I'd hate to be traumatized about that. I don't know. But yeah, it's almost spooky season. I'm excited for October. I think in lieu of, I've been doing Inktober the last couple of years, but I've just felt burnt out recently, I would say. So, in lieu of that, I think I'm just going to try and do, something spooky each week for these videos. Maybe even jazz up my little Sasquatch avatar, dress him up on my thumbnails or something like that. But let's start taking suggestions now. What should I draw? What are some scary movies that you guys like that we can talk about, or I can draw from, or any of that? So let's open it up to you guys. I'm all about it. I'm excited, and let's give it a swing. Yeah, I've seen so many scary movies. It's nice to get surprised with something new, for sure. But yeah, thanks for watching. Drop some comments down on ideas for October, what I should do, and yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. YouTube jingle, chang-a-lang-a-lang, and goodbye.